Hello ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. It's almost New Year's, but we haven't quite reached Christmas yet, so let's all not get ahead of ourselves. All right, now this week there are two main events, one on the 4th and one on the 9th of December. The first one is Venus Ingress Scorpio on the 4th, and on the 9th we have Mercury Ingress Capricorn. So those are the two main events this week that we're going to be talking about. The combination of planetary and astrological events this week brings sentiments tending towards civil disobedience. Civil disobedience is thought to be something where you don't actually break the law, but you sort of just disobey in a civilized manner. But that may not be tolerated the way it once was. So be careful of that. Now this is again due to the Venus direct Ingress Scorpio on the 4th. And that's the 4th of December, and possible social unrest where it gets more than just civil disobedience and becomes more of a social wave of unrest beginning on the 9th of the month due to Mercury's direct ingress into Capricorn. Now Mercury's already direct, but it will ingress, remaining direct, into Capricorn on the 9th, and that will cause bold communication for the purpose of increasing social economic status among various disenfranchised groups. So there's a lot of social stuff going on. Okay, now on December 4th of 2015, we have Venus Ingress Scorpio. Now that's the Venus direct Ingress Scorpio event, Scorpio to Scorpion. We have Venus Ingress Scorpio and Venus direct Ingress Scorpio to Scorpion. What this does is it increases the desire to express through protest and civil disobedience. That again is the 4th when this will be felt. Again, when you have an event in time, the time and space ripples away from the event, but they also ripple inward towards the event, although you wouldn't notice that quite as much. So it will affect the future a little more than the past, but the past can be affected. And when you are able to change the past, then you can change the present. And that's a little more complicated and takes a little more deeper work of going within, but it can be done. Now on the 9th, the 9th of December, we have Mercury Ingress Capricorn. Now Mercury currently direct, and while direct, it will ingress into Capricorn on the 9th. That's Capricorn the goat. And that makes for bold communication in the arenas of political or religious affiliations for the purpose of increasing socio-economic status with differing disenfranchised organizations. Now we're going to get to the guardian angels and the planetary archangels, the elemental angels, and the zodiac angels that are going to be affected. Now the planetary angels and the zodiac angels are utilized in certain rituals, but for now we're just going to give you for these events, and then we'll give you for each of your signs and the zodiac angels, we will give you what house it's going to affect after we give you the main, we feel, event for this week, and we'll go over the astrology angel magic for you. All right. Venus, the planet Venus on the 4th, still direct to ingress into Scorpio. What this is Venus, the angel is Hanael, and that brings the need for expressions of dissatisfactions with the powers that be to the inhabitants of the realm of Barchiel or Scorpio. And then on the 9th, we have the Mercury Ingress Capricorn direct. That is Mercury, the planet Mercury, again currently direct, and the Archangel Raphael introducing bold communication skills for the purpose of legal or political or religious activism to the inhabitants of the realm of Hanael, which is the sign of Capricorn. All right. Now, for the Astrology Angel Magic evocation, the evocation for Mercury in Capricorn is what we're going to utilize. We're going to utilize this for going over your houses for your specific signs and your specific zodiac angels as well. Okay, now Mercury, that's for the planetary Archangel Raphael, and that is healer of God. And the incense is benzoin and narcissus can be used, those two incense, and then the gem you'd want to use would be emerald. The Hebrew letter would be Bet or Beth, and the scripture that you want to utilize is Tobias 12 or Tobit, Tobias 12, chapter 12, verse 15. For I am the angel Raphael, one of the 7 who stand before the Lord. All right, now the zodiac angel correspondence. We have Capricorn, that is the zodiac angel Hanael, and that's the tribe of Zebulun. And that's the popular association. Now, some of these have some different associations, some that other various organizations have come up with, and some that we've come up with personally, but this is the popular association at the moment, the tribe of Zebulun for Capricorn and the angel Hanael. We've got the incense of patchouli and or oak moss. We have the gemstone being garnet. Now the Hebrew letter is ayin, and the scripture that you want to use is Genesis 49, chapter 49, verse 13. Now, to get to your zodiac signs, your specific zodiac signs, and your specific zodiac angels, and the houses that will be affected for you specifically regarding your sign. For the sign of Aries, the ram, we have the zodiac angel Mechidael, and that is Mercury directing Capricorn makes for brave declarations within the theaters of political or religious associations for the purpose of increasing socio-economic status within conflicting, disenfranchised groups, influencing your 10th house of social standing and fame. So for Aries, the 10th house association, these intense events will affect the house where it is about your fame, your social standing. That's where this is going to affect you, Aries. Now, for Taurus the Bull, the zodiac sign of Taurus the Bull, and the zodiac angel Asmodai, we have Mercury direct in Capricorn makes for daring announcements in the fields of political or religious affiliations for the purpose of escalating socio-economic status within conflicting outsider organizations affecting your 9th house of life past. Meaning, now what this is about, it's for you, Taurus, it's about, the escalation is about the quickening or to have money move faster. Because money is being moved from one person to another, one organization to another, but it's going slowly for you, Taurus. So what you want to do is increase the speed, not necessarily the amount, but the speed. To what? To give your life more meaning, because without that kind of exchange on a more frequent basis, you don't feel meaning in your life, because this is about meaning, because the bull's all about that kind of thing, okay? Now, for the sign of Gemini, the Twins, we have the zodiac angel Umbriel, and Mercury direct in Capricorn makes for audacious declarations in the arenas of political or religious groups for the purpose of elevating socio-economic status within outsider organizations at odds with each other, influencing your 8th house of birth, sex, death, and debt. So this is very intense. These are intense subjects. These are the visceral subjects that really affect you and affect people in a very overbearing manner. So this 8th house is of birth, sex, set, and death. Death is what is going to be affected by these social and personal feelings that somebody needs to be protested, or there needs to be some kind of revolutionary aspect. You understand. It's very social economically based, expressing itself through politics and religion. Now, for the sign of Cancer, the crab, and the zodiac angel Muriel, we have Mercury direct in Capricorn, makes for foolhardy broadcasts in the fields of political or religious alliances for the purpose of improving socio-economic status within incompatible interloper groups influencing your 7th house of law and commitment. So what is this all about? This is all about when it comes to changing something, you've really got to get in there if you want to get everybody taken care of. The people that fell through the cracks, what you want to do, you got to change the laws, because the laws are there. And there are so many laws on the books that are still on the books, and if they're enforced, that's it. So if you want something to really change in a committed manner, you have to change the law at its very core. And if you want to have a law in the books, it should be used or not, or gotten rid of. If it's a law that nobody's using, and if it's a law that doesn't work anymore and nobody agrees with it anymore, then it needs to be done away with. If you agree with it, then you keep the law. But you're going to find people that don't want you to have 1 foot on the earth and 1 foot in the water. You'll find that. All right, now, for the sign of Leo, the lion, the zodiac angel Virchiel. Now, Mercury directing Capricorn makes for bold announcements in the fields of political or religious associations for the purpose of elevating socio-economic status within warring factions of conflicting outsider organizations influencing your 6th house of health and habits. So this is all going to be for you, Leo. You're a lion. And what it's going to do, it's going to affect your personal daily routines and your need to stay healthy, because Leo, again, you're a people pleaser. So what you need to do is you need to make sure that you return always to pleasing the self. Pleasing other people will not work for you. It doesn't work for anybody, really, but especially for you, Leo. You have to be happy with yourself, and you have to just make sure that you're doing things in a way that makes you comfortable. Make yourself comfortable first, and then just be gracious, and all things will come to you. Remember, the key for you, Leo, is do not suppress anything, but don't jump all over it either. There you go. All right, now, for the sign of Virgo, the Virgin, and the zodiac angel Hanael, we have Mercury directing Capricorn makes for audacious publications in the arenas of political or religious affiliations for the purpose of uplifting socioeconomic status within differing aesthetic organizations influencing your 5th house of children and creativity. So this is all going to be about your creative projects, your children, your kids' creative projects, your involvement in their creative projects, and you like to be someone who's useful, and indeed you are. You are a very useful Virgo. So people are going to need you more and more and more, because people want more right now. They want to be technically perfect. They want their home secured. They want their whatever they're doing to be more perfect. So they're going to want you to make them perfect in the way they are presenting, because you can do anything for them. You can make sure that everything, all the details are in place. But don't forget that you need to put yourself out there, because people want to see you. Okay, Virgo. Now for the sign of Libra, the scales, the zodiac sign of Libra, we have the zodiac angel Azuriah. Now Mercury directing Capricorn makes for impudent proclamations in the fields of political or religious groups for the purpose of escalating socioeconomic status within conflicting disenfranchised groups affecting your 4th house of home and family. So for you, Libra, this week's events are going to touch you in the very core, the hearth of the home and family, the kitchen, the home, the family. So you're going to want to quicken your ability to maybe remodel your home, maybe get your kids into better schools, get your family to be associated with better types of people, elevate your family, your home, make it better, increase the value of everything that's the most precious to you. So it's more about remodeling right now than getting something new. Or if you are getting something new like a home, it's about increasing the status, but you want to do it quickly, and that's the key. Okay, now for the sign of Scorpio, the Scorpion, the zodiac sign, we have the zodiac angel Barchiel. Mercury direct in Capricorn makes for the daring announcements in the theaters of political or religious organizations for the purpose of improving socioeconomic status within disagreeing distant factions influencing your third house of transportation and communication. So this is about, for you Scorpio, this week. This week's events are going to be about how do you get from point A to point B, how you travel, and also how you communicate, the way you communicate. Now, it's true that the more ways you have to get somewhere, the less people travel, and the more ways you have to communicate, the less you communicate. Just like the more ways you have to pay for something, the less you pay for something. Because nobody knows what's actually real anymore. But that happens in whenever society goes through some kind of big change. So, whenever there's sort of a changing of the guard within generations or family, familial generations, that kind of a thing. All right, when, some people, they used to care for people, now they're being cared for, those types of issues. And you're going to want these situations to improve is what you want. Now, for the sign of Sagittarius, the zodiac angel Hanael, Mercury direct in Capricorn, makes for brave declarations in the arenas of political or religious affiliations for the purpose of uplifting socioeconomic status within warring splinter organizations affecting your second house of money and possessions. So this is about uplifting the money and the possessions that you already have. This is about what can I invest in, because the second house is about money and possessions, but this week it's all going to be about uplifting what you have, the money you have, the income that you have, the income that you have, and the possessions that you already own. So you're going to want to increase the value of what you already have invested in. And this is how these events that are socioeconomic at the core and on the surface look like they're political or religious are going to be affected for you, Sagittarius, this week. Now, for the zodiac sign of Capricorn, the goat, we have the zodiac angel Hanael. We have Mercury direct in Capricorn, makes for bold communication in the arenas of political or religious affiliations for the purpose of increasing socioeconomic status within differing disenfranchised organizations affecting your first house of self and appearances. So for you, Capricorn, this is going to be about this week the way that the core socioeconomic condition of people expressed through their religious or their political affiliations and the kind of civil disobedience or social upheavals we're talking about that people are leaning towards this week. This is sort of for you about you're going to want to appear to yourself and to others to be on top of this. And you're going to want to appear to be on top of these socio-economic clashes that are going to go on. And you're going to want to try to feel like you can indeed help, that you indeed care and can help, and indeed you can. You can. So simply go ahead and, this is a time when Capricorn will do well, because Capricorn knows how to steadily and sure-footedly get yourself and others a way to climb up that is real and true and will satisfy you and them. Now, some people, of course, who are not earth signs might want to go more quickly, but still, if secure footing, real footing and real steps are being made, not baby steps, but actual climbing up. If somebody has, a stairway they can climb up. And it's put in front of them. All they have to do is climb and be strong enough to do that. But they actually, do have a way. That's all they need. Now, for the sign of Aquarius, and the zodiac angel Cambriel, we have Mercury directing Capricorn, makes for audacious announcements in the fields of political or religious associations for the purpose of escalating socioeconomic status with conflicting outsider groups influencing your 12th house of spirituality. So for you, Aquarius, and your zodiac angel Cambriel, this week is all going to be about, how this can be more of a spiritual expression. The socioeconomic class is all about a spiritual expression of what? The law of attraction, right? Except, according to the Zohar, you don't need the law of attraction. Everything is already easily attracted. All you have to do is stop repelling. And we're all guilty of repelling things because of what? Because of fear. So all we have to do is turn down the volume on fear, becomes anxiety. Turn down the volume on anxiety, becomes excitement. Just like with depression. If people are extremely depressed, or in Abaddon where they don't care at all, where they're apathetic, you turn up the volume. And it goes to depression, and then you turn up the volume on depression, and you reach what? Relaxation. And right in the middle of excitement and relaxation is what? Pleasure. So this is something we've been teaching for a long time. And if you'd like further information on how to do this in a natural way, you can visit readingsbyrosemary.com. Okay, now for the sign of Pisces, the fish, we have the zodiac angel Amitziel. Mercury direct in Capricorn makes for presumptuous statements in the fields of political or religious groups for the purpose of rising socioeconomic status within sundry recluse groups affecting your 11th house of friends and reputation. So this is all about your reputation, Pisces. This is all about your friends and how your friends talk about you. Okay? That's what this is. You don't want people to talk about you in certain ways. And you don't want to talk about others in certain ways either. So that's what this week's kind of disobedience, civil disobedience and protests are going to be about. But just remember, people have become strong. And we're no longer in the age of Pisces, we're in the age of Aquarius with Saturn ruling, not Jupiter. Therefore, people are going to what? People are going to say, right back at you. Okay, so just remember that, Pisces. You can confront people, but they become very strong. So make sure that if you're going to dish it out this week, you can take it. Okay, Pisces. Now for a disclaimer, remember, high magic can be dangerous. Don't try this at home. It's only for experts. If you need our help, visit our website, www.readingsbyrosemary.com, and either myself or one of my staff will be happy to help you. And this month we only have a few days left for Madame Psyche and Madame Rosencrantz to be able to assist you with readings or biblical astrology. And remember, don't try this at home without an expert. All right, thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Pastor Rosemary, the Astrology Angel, and join us again next week.